could we, when we start with what your definition is of somebody who's a staff engineer or staff plus engineer? I mean, how's that different to being a normal developer?
Yeah, there's a lot of preconceptions that it's just a senior, but it changes quite a lot, and I think it changes. It changes in the way that you're enabling others. It's actually quite a people-focused role that people don't really take into consideration. So the more autonomy you're giving over to teams, the more mechanisms you need to align your teams across the organization. And that's somewhat part of this role, because they're able to see that wider picture. And that enabled me to do the jump later in my career, when I got frustrated with Conway's Law and wanted to attack tech from a different angle.
You know that you keep hearing about this kind of high impact work, and you know you should be doing that. But where do you find this magic backlog of high impact work? You create it. It's your responsibility now. So as a Staff Plus engineer, it's up to you to identify and define what you should be working on. Your role now is to gather context and evaluate opportunities to help shape what you and even what other teams should be focusing on.
Core premise of being a Staff Plus engineer or leader within an organization, technical mastery and being great at delivering technical solutions is what most organizations will test for, and will form the foundation of your identity that will allow you to have your career ladder. This is bread and butter. You're expected to dive deep into the code and architecture when the going gets tough. But there's elements that you need to invest in yourself to think more strategically.
I am not exaggerating when I say pairing addresses every single slide on this presentation, right? When you pair with people and you switch up who you pair with, you get rid of knowledge silos, you have natural mentorship roles come up. You're more likely to get different styles of thinking working together, right? You just build empathy by working together every day.
How do I quantify my impact? How do I measure these kinds of things? Do I need to constantly be thinking about and implementing ways of measuring impact? Big surprise, answer is yes, right? These are your big questions. The biggest differences between a senior and a Staff Plus resume are honestly, 1, using numbers, 2, tying technology and projects to business impact. What do you do when you get that job? This is a topic for like a whole webinar, like a multi-hour one. Some people like Sabrina spoke to it earlier and she did great, but it's a huge topic. Regardless of how huge a topic is, I really believe in Shauna's words. For 2 years, Shauna was one of Will Larson's Staff Plus engineers. She reported directly to him. I completely agree with this. I'm like, part of being a staff engineer is taking that unknown, being afraid, or maybe not afraid, kudos to you if you don't have fear, conquering it, making it actionable, and building business impact.
You have to make it easy and safe for the decision maker to say yes.